1983, NBC got its first electronic paint device, which was Paintbox serial number 3, which the last time I checked was still in operation in Washington.
I think a lot of production houses popped up because of Paintbox and because of Paintbox only.
It gave the designers a whole toolkit which they had never been able to use before unless they were an expert.
And that changed the entire way we did things, because it was then possible to make graphics quickly.
So it's completely changed our lives, and it's completely allowed us to build businesses like this, and it's allowed us to really change the visual landscape of television.
We started the first electronic graphics department with one paint box. It was a small room on the 7th floor of our main building, Rockefeller Plaza. And now we have the entire floor of a quite large building, which consists of nothing but graphics equipment and the people who operate it.
When I first started NBC, everybody wanted graphics for their pieces, for their features. When the HAL came along and I was able to give them animations, it was great. They all wanted more of that, and now they can't get enough of it.
The thing I like about working on the Paintbox and the HAL is that there is such speed. I'm able to get a look that I like right away. In the beginning, we had one Harriet, so we did maybe 6 or 8 graphics per show. And because of the demand, we got more Harriets, and then we were lucky enough to get a HAL. So now we do about 10 times the graphics that we used to. Often we'll be asked to do a graphic that is not a formula type graphic, but a special graphics. We needed to go all the way around the globe. We needed to come in tight and have the artwork still be clean, and we needed to do it in 2 days rather than 2 weeks that it would have taken on a 3D piece of equipment.
We've been using HAL for everything from 30-second animations to 10-second rejoins and bumpers, 5-second type animations, 30-frame type animations, technical animations, marathon maps, really pretty much everything that you can imagine.
What the Quantel products allowed us to do was essentially install them, turn on the power, sit down, and begin creating as soon as possible.
The local station package that we did for KCNC is really quite a beautiful project. It was designed by one of our creative directors, Daniel Paterna. The HAL was really invaluable in that project because of its global features, because of the ability to move multiple elements around. And if you look at the typography that moves around the screen in that piece, there could be over 100 pieces of typography at the same time there. And that's really something that you can't do elegantly anywhere else but the HAL. It is much easier for us and much more cost-effective for us to have proprietary software from Quantel. You turn the key. It's what it is. You don't have to worry about an update next week, and you don't have to worry about 15 peripherals that you have to, concern yourself with keeping updated. I mean, to keep some of that stuff going, desktop publishing and that PC stuff going, you need a person that is dedicated full time at this point to reading everything that comes across the desk, to understanding every upgrade that's coming along, every time the computer changes itself, which is every 6 months. Some of the software that you have spent a lot of money on no longer works properly, and that becomes very tedious and very cost ineffective. What we want to do is make things not only cost effective, but design effective.
What we have realized is that having one vendor that deals with hardware as well as software enables us to have immediate answers to any kind of questions that arise.
Hello and welcome to BBC Television's most popular science magazine programme, Tomorrow's World.
Week in, week out, Tomorrow's World enthralls millions of British viewers with an outstanding mix of science and entertainment. And we're here to show you why.
We brought a HAL in for Tomorrow's World because the programme wanted to have a dedicated designer who did all of their graphics. And we wanted the ability to be able to produce all the content graphics and all the links for the programme. One of the most adventurous things we've done using the HAL on Tomorrow's World is a 30th birthday programme, which was done as if it was a 60th birthday programme and looking 30 years back. And for that, the designer used images from previous programmes but set it in the future and created basically what London would be like 30 years from now, and it was done using a variety of clips, pasting them together. They shot things in studio, which he then keyed and matted in using the HAL. He created a whole lot of models of spaceships and bits of furniture and things, which again he then just used under a camera and then matted in using the facilities of HAL, and also creating the sort of beam me up Scotty sort of Star Wars kind of thing, very simply, which in the past would have had to have been done using digital edit suites or a whole variety of studio equipment.
We had the first HAL in the world, I believe, to do a program called Pole to Pole. And we actually chose the equipment on the basis of what we designed for the job, and HAL, with its multi-paste system, was the obvious choice. If you look at the sequence, you'll understand why.
They showed me the HAL and what it could do, and they showed me some title sequences that had been done on it, and I was knocked out. I mean, I hadn't seen that level of sophistication ever. And instantly, Mick and I started brainstorming. I mean, the technology kind of freed us up to think about anything.
Mike Slee, the director of Connections, and I had some quite protracted meetings about some of the sequences on Connections 2, and the electroplating sequence is probably the best example of that working.
What we were trying to do is to pick up on the live action and subtly integrate a graphic and use the technology, but not in an overt way, but integrate it into the show.
There were occasions where 3D is actually an expensive option when there is a cheaper one available, and to create a magnet for one of the demonstrations it didn't move around, so it was simple enough to paint one on HAL that looked like a 3D magnet.
Technology like HAL has meant that you can either sit with the designer and sketch things live, but you knew that really you were able to come up with an idea, turn it around within a manageable amount of time, at a manageable documentary budget cost, and still create something at the end of the day that was knockout for the viewer. I think it's in fact created a new generation of documentaries. I hope it has anyway. That's what I've been trying to do.
As we bought the first HAL, we didn't know exactly what we get there. We had to find out. But with this, it was really a springboard to a new market. And 1 year later, we bought a second one. and half a year later we bought the third one. So now we work with 3 halls, and that's good.
A good example for a work was done completely inside HAL is the culture time. We have, I think, over 20 layers composited together. We have a lot of sequences from different sources, and we fitted these scenes together to have this kind of feeling of culture. So on the animation side, we have 3 HALs, and on the print side, we have 2 graphic paint boxes.
Because we thought it could be interesting to also offer print graphics together with video graphics. And I think this was a very good idea. We had the agencies in house. We showed them, by the way, the video things, and they liked it and came back for other jobs, or they came back for jobs where we could mix the both media, print and video.
A recent good example of using print and on-screen design are the Sky Sports Champions of Sports Awards. For this we had to produce a full colour, 40-page colour brochure, invitations to be sent out to all the special guests, on-screen promos and on-screen title sequences and break bumpers. The ease of transporting images on optical disc to a print box seemed the best and easiest way to progress. If the whole project had been sort of split between us doing the video side and a design agency doing the printed side, I just don't think we'd have been able to achieve the continuity of look across both areas of design. On the night when people were actually seeing huge video screens showing the animations, and they had in front of them a coloured brochure, I mean, there was, the link was so strong, it worked so well. I think the benefits really are twofold. One is that the main one is really that the control of the design job is kept in-house. A designer can one day be working on the title sequence for a program, and the next day he can then move across and provide any printed material that needs to support that program. Secondly, the cost benefits are great, really. If we had to commission a design agency to actually go away and create an image that then related to a program we were doing on screen, we're firstly paying for their design fee before they get anywhere near the actual print process. We're sort of cutting out that stage, and we can have our video designers going straight over to print and then creating the total package.
For me, Quantel was always a possibility to bring your idea from your head directly into a product.
HAL enables you to do, in a way, a little bit of everything. You can direct a sequence, you can cut it together, you can do the mixing, the layering, the compositing, the keying, as well as animate on top of it.
What HAL offers me really is a chance to have complete control over design and animation. I really see animation as just moving design, and I want every single frame to be exactly the way I want it.
The HAL, certainly, and the Harriet before it, both gave the designers opportunities to be able to produce title sequences totally in-house, in their own environment, without having to use outside facilities. And that is a huge saving financially, but it also gives the designer much more control over their own design concept.
And this is simply a direct result of our investment in HAL, which has taken away the need for us to spend significant parts of our income in outside suppliers.
The tools will grow, our company will continue to grow, we will continue to explore new methods and new techniques to produce our design, and within that there is a certain amount of confidence that I have that Quantel will not only respond to those needs, but will also make projections about what those needs may be in the future.